Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how you were saying you're super into those like signs and synchronicities, those little nudges from the universe?
Yeah.
Well, we're going deep on this TEDx talk by a Finnish musician.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she lives in Peru now. So she's got this like totally unique perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah, like music spirituality and this whole journey across continents. It's all about how she sees these signs.
That's a really cool combo, like blending those different worlds. It makes you wonder how her background influences the way she interprets those signs, right?
Absolutely. And it's not like super mystical or anything. It's more about recognizing patterns and making choices.
Yeah.
Like it's practical almost.
You're right. It's not just about the woo-woo factor. It's about applying it to your life.
Exactly. So she starts off talking about how even as a kid she was obsessed with Machu Picchu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and at 13 she found this book and it just like sparked this crazy fascination.
At 13.
Yeah, like it planted a seed that totally bloomed later on.
It's wild how a single book, a random encounter, can have that kind of impact. Sometimes we don't even realize the significance of those moments until much later.
Right. It makes you think about what seeds we might be like missing every day.
Totally. Like, what if we're surrounded by signs, but we're just not tuned in?
Exactly. But then she goes on to say how we get stuck in our own heads and miss the signs altogether.
Oh, yeah, I get that. It's like we're so focused on our own limitations that we can't see the possibilities.
Yeah, like we're wearing blinders.
Totally. We create these mental cages for ourselves, based on our past experiences, societal expectations, and even our own fears.
It's true. And I think everyone's felt stuck at some point.
Definitely. Like hitting your head against the same wall over and over again.
Ugh, yes. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Mm.
She has these little tricks for like breaking out of those negative thought patterns.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So she's all about shaking things up.
Eh.
Literally. She talks about going brr,
Yeah.
snapping your fingers, even just feeling your body to like interrupt those thought loops.
Wait, so it's like physical actions to shift your mental state.
Exactly. It's like a mini reset for your mind.
That's so cool. I've never thought about it like that.
Right. Like hitting the reset button on your mental operating system.
I love that analogy.
So then she asked this question that really got me thinking. Why not just choose to focus on the good signs?
That's a good question.
Like, even if it feels forced at first, why not look for those little winks from the universe?
So it's a conscious choice to shift your perspective.
Yeah, like instead of dwelling on what's wrong, you look for what's going right.
That makes sense. It's about training your mind to be more receptive to those positive signals.
And she even quotes Einstein. He said, there are only two ways to live your life, as though nothing is a miracle, or as though everything is a miracle.
Wow, that's deep.
Right. So which way are we choosing to live?
That's a powerful question.
Yeah.
It makes you really think about how you're approaching each day.
Okay, so get this. She tells this funny story about when she was getting ready to move to New York City for Juilliard, and there's this book that keeps appearing with messages inside.
With messages.
Yeah, like every time she opens it, bam, there's her message.
What kind of messages?
Well, hold on. It gets weirder. She kept getting the same message over and over again.
Oh no. Was it like a bad message?
No, not bad.
Yeah.
Just the same one every time.
And
And she thought the book was defective.
she thought the book was defective. That's hilarious. Like, what are the chances?
I know, right?
But it makes you wonder, why do we sometimes resist messages even when they're so obvious? It's like we're so stuck in our own ways that we block out anything that challenges our beliefs.
Totally. It's like we're trying to force a square peg into a round hole. you know?
Yeah. We try to make things fit our limited understanding instead of expanding it.
Exactly. So I bet you're dying to know what the message was.
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay, drum roll. The quote was all about untapped energy and missed opportunities.
Oh, wow.
It basically said, how much longer will you go on letting your energy sleep? How much longer are you going to stay oblivious to the immensity of yourself?
That's powerful. And it makes you think about your own life, right? Am I
Yeah.
playing small? Am I letting fear hold me back?
That's the question, right? And get this, even though she was living this amazing life at Juilliard, this dream she'd worked so hard for,
Yeah.
she still felt insecure. Like she wasn't totally on the right path.
So even when you achieve something incredible, you can still feel lost.
It seems like it's like this reminder that we're all complex.
Yeah. And maybe those different parts of ourselves aren't always in perfect harmony.
It's human right
Yeah.
to have those internal struggles even when things look good on the outside.
Absolutely. We're all a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's like we can have all these achievements and external validation, but still feel like something's missing.
Totally. So like facing this inner turmoil, she gets to this point where she just like demands a sign from the universe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's like, give me a sign, a clear one, No more cryptic messages.
Yeah.
She was done messing around.
It's interesting how she frames it as like demanding something from the universe.
Yeah. Like, is it a vending machine? You put in your request and get what you want.
Right. Or is it more about surrendering to a bigger plan? There's this whole debate about like the power of intention versus just letting go.
It's a tricky balance for sure.
Yeah.
Like, how much control do we actually have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, what happened after she like put in her order with the universe?
Okay, so she's walking around all bummed out, and you'll never guess what happens. She
What?
finds a book just lying there on the street.
No way. Another book. It seems like books are like her personal messengers from the universe.
I know, right? Like a cosmic library.
Okay, but what was this book?
Are you ready for this? The title of the book was The Singing Flute.
Wait, she's a flute player, right?
Exactly. What are the chances?
That's great. Like it was meant for her.
And get this. She opens the book, and the first line she reads is, "This is a story of a little Finnish girl."
Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up.
I know. It's like the universe was screaming, "Hey, I'm talking to you."
It's those moments that make you believe in something bigger than yourself. You know, like there's no way that was just a coincidence.
And from that point on, she starts paying attention to these signs. And she starts manifesting all kinds of cool stuff.
Like what?
A computer, a camera, a piano, even trips around the world, like meeting incredible people.
So it's like once she opened herself up to the signs, the universe just started delivering.
Yeah, and she even talks about manifesting financial help, right when she needed to go to Peru for the first time.
It's like that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Totally. But it makes you wonder about synchronicity. Like, is it all just chance, or is there something more going on?
It's one of those mysteries that we may never fully understand, but it's fascinating to think about, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to finish off her talk, she quotes this poet Kabir from like the 15th century.
Okay.
He said, "The flute of the infinite is played without ceasing, and its sound is love. When love renounces all limits, it reaches truth."
Wow, that's beautiful. And so fitting given her connection to music.
Right, it's like we're all instruments in this grand orchestra of life.
And each of us has a unique song to play.
Yeah, and maybe by listening to each other's songs, by appreciating the harmony and the dissonance, we create something even more amazing.
Like a symphony that's constantly evolving and changing.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like we all have this potential to create something beautiful, but we have to be willing to let go and let the music flow through us.
And to trust the conductor even when we can't see the whole score, you know?
Absolutely. It's about surrendering to the mystery of it all.
And those signs, those synchronicities, they're like little clues along the way.
Yeah, like guideposts.
Exactly. And they can be so subtle sometimes, you know?
Totally. It's like learning a new language. You have to pay attention to the nuances.
So what signs are you noticing in your own life?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What about you? What kind of signs have you been getting?
Well, I've been seeing this number everywhere lately.
Really? What number?
222. It's popping up everywhere. On clocks, receipts, license plates.
Wow. That's wild. I wonder what it means.
I'm not sure yet, but I'm paying attention. I'm trying to figure out what the universe is trying to tell me.
That's the key, right? Being open to those messages.
Absolutely. It's like we're all on this scavenger hunt and the signs are the clues.
And the prize is a life that feels aligned and meaningful.
Exactly. It's not always easy to decipher the clues, but the journey itself is part of the adventure.
This deep dive has really made me think about how I'm interpreting the world and the choices I'm making.
Me too. It's a good reminder that we have more agency than we sometimes realize.
And that we're not alone in this. We're all connected in ways we can't even fully comprehend.
It's like we're all part of this intricate web of energy and information.
So as we wrap up, I encourage everyone to stay curious.
Yes. Don't be afraid to ask questions and explore the unknown.
And keep listening for those subtle whispers of guidance.
Because the universe is always speaking.
We just have to be open to hearing it.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Until next time, keep your eyes open, your hearts receptive, and your minds ready for the unexpected.